Kleshagni Shubhada. We are going to see now Shubhada. Shubhada means all auspicious. Kleshagni Shubhada. So Shubhada means all auspicious. So Krishna consciousness is all auspicious. So this starts from 1.1.27. Shubhatvam Shubhani Priyanam Prinanam Sarvajagatam Anurattata Shad Gunaha Sukham Iti Adini Akhyatani Manishibhi. So this is the second characteristic of Uttama Bhakti. The wise explained that there are 4 types of auspiciousness that has been given. Affection for all living entities, being attractive to all living entities, possession of good qualities and happiness, as well as other items. So these are the characteristics of auspiciousness. You're affectionate to everyone, and then you're attractive to all the living entities. You have all good qualities, and you are happy. So in this way, Prinana means affectionate. Piranam, Shubhani, Piranam, Sarvajanam, Anuraktata, Anuraktata. That means you're attractive. Shadguna Sukham. Shadguna means you have all the qualities. Sukham, you're experiencing the happiness. Iti Adini Akhyatani Manishi. So in this way, these are the 4 important types of auspiciousness which a person experiences when he is performing pure devotional service. Okay. Aditya, read the verse and read the paragraph also, first paragraph.
Hare Krishna. Krishna consciousness is all auspicious. Srila Rupa Goswami has given a definition of auspiciousness. He says that actual auspiciousness means welfare activities for all the people of the world. At the present moment, groups of people are engaged in welfare activities in terms of society, community, or nation. There is even an attempt in the form of the United Nations for World Health Activity. But due to the shortcomings of limited national activities, such a general mass welfare program for the whole world is not practically possible. The Krishna consciousness movement, however, is so nice that it can render the highest benefit to the entire human race. Everyone can be attracted by this movement, and everyone can feel the result. Therefore, Rupa Goswami and other learned scholars agree that a broad propaganda program for the Krishna consciousness movement of devotional service all over the world is the highest humanitarian welfare activity.
Okay. Next. 28. That is the next paragraph, 1.1.20. Tatra jagat Piranadi Dvaya Pradatvam Yatha Padme. Now the quotation is given by whom? Rupa Goswami. Now from Padma Puran, he gives what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, that is right. Now this is the teaching, Shubha Tattvam. Shubha Tattvam. This is the teachings. Now this teaching is proved. Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. It is given in many of the scriptures. So what are the scriptures which is mentioning this? That Piranadi means affectionate to all living entities. There is a nice song in Udupi. Pranayamo Vasudevam. Oh Lord, you are so affectionate to everyone. Pranayamo. Piranadi. Lord is affectionate to everyone. So in this way, a pure devotee, when he performs devotional service, we can see the characteristics in him. He is affectionate to everyone. Piranadi. So this is given in Padma Puran. Kenarchito haristena tarpitani jagantyapi rajyanti jantavastatra jangamaha sthavarapi. The 2 types of Shubha are illustrated in the Padma Puran. He who worships the Lord is pleasing to all living entities. All the inhabitants of the world, both moving and non-moving, are pleasing to him. So he is affectionate, he attracts others also. Two things having you. He is affectionate, all are affectionate to him. Like Dadati Puti Guhati. He is affectionate, all are also affectionate towards him. He is pleasing to everyone, and others are also pleasing to him. Okay. So read that and read the paragraph. Okay, 1 minute. Read the paragraph. Okay, read it. Read this and read the paragraph.
Only the paragraph, right, Mataji? Or
Read the words. Read the words. Read the paragraph.
जगत् प्रणन्नादि द्वयप्रदत्वं यथापाद्मे
Padme.
येन
Padme. Hmm.
येनार्चितो हरिस्तेन तर्पितानि जगन्त्यपि रज्यन्ति जनतवस्तत्र जङ्गमाः स्थावरापि.
See,
Translation: the first.
Jangama Sthavara. What is Jangama Sthavara? Jangama means moving. Sthavara means non-moving. That means even the plants love him. Everybody loves him. Hmm.
Translation: the first two types of Shubha are illustrated in the Padma Puran. He who worships the Lord is pleasing to all living entities, and all the inhabitants of the world, both moving and non moving, are pleasing to him. How the Krishna consciousness movement can attract the attention of the whole world, and how each and every man can feel pleasure in this Krishna consciousness is stated in the Padma Puran as follows. A person who is engaged in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness is to be understood to be doing the best service to the whole world and to be pleasing everyone in the world. In addition to human society, he is pleasing even the trees and animals because they also become attracted by such a movement. A practical example of this was shown by Lord Chaitanya when he was traveling through the forest of Jharkhand in central India for spreading his Sankirtan movement. The tigers, the elephants, the deer, and all other wild animals joined him and were participating in their own ways by dancing and chanting Hare Krishna.
Now 29th onwards in the last of this is 1.1.20. Now the paragraph which is going to start, that is till the last of this session, this topic, Shubhada. So this verse, it is there in Bhagavad Gita also. We have studied this verse where Arjuna speaks. They are my all Svajana who are sitting, standing on the other side. And then describing his softness of the heart, where he is calling all his relatives who are so against him as Svajana. That time this verse is spoken in Bhagavad Gita. 1.1.29 of Bhakti Rasamrita. Shad Gunadi Pradatvam. This is from the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 18th chapter, 12th verse. Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunai satra samasate suran harava bhaktasya kuto mahguna manorathena sati dhavato bahi. So bhakti, it gives good qualities. And other things automatically comes. Happiness also comes. So one who has unflinching love towards Krishna, yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana. Akinchana love for Krishna. When you say akinchana means there should not be any motives. There should not be any interruptions. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana. Sarveir gunis samasati sura. He gets all the wonderful qualities of sura. This sura has been mentioned. Nitya suras, Nitya suris, who are parshadas of Krishna. Sura refers to demigods. But we have sometimes seen even the demigods, they develop some type of pride, and Krishna smashes the pride. Like Krishna smashed the pride of Indra. Then sometimes the demigods also, they have the tendency to doubt Krishna. Like Brahmaji also doubted. So Brahmaji is not coming in the category of demigods. But still, the demigods sometimes they tend to do the mistakes. But Nitya Suris, they never do any mistakes. So that type of Samasate Sura, Harava Bhakta se Kuto Mahatma, is a Abhakta. What is the use of having even Mahat Gunas? Because he sits in the chariot of his mind. What mind says, that person does. So this is a big paragraph. Two, three, four paragraphs are involved. Okay, read the verse and start the paragraph.
Hare Krishna. तद्गुणानि प्रदत्वं यस्यातिभक्तिर्भगवत्या किञ्चन सर्वैर्गुणैस्तत्र समासते सुराः हरावभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुणा मनोरथेनासति धावतो बहिः. Translation: Bhakti bestows good qualities and other things. Shad Gunadi. One who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has the Lord and his followers along with all their good qualities under his control. But one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. He simply pursues temporary material objects motivated by desire. Srimad Bhagavatam 5:18-12. Furthermore, a person engaged in Krishna consciousness, acting in devotional service, can develop all the good qualities that are generally found in the demigods. It is said by Shukdev Goswami in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 18th chapter, verse 12, My dear king, persons who have unflinching faith in Krishna and are without any duplicity can develop all the good qualities of the demigods. On account of a devotee's high grade of Krishna consciousness, even the demigods like to live with him, and therefore it can be understood that the qualities of demigods have developed within his body. On the other hand, a person who is not in Krishna consciousness has no good qualities. He may be highly educated from the academic point of view, but in the actual field of his activities, he can be seen to be baser than the animals. Even though a person is highly educated academically, if he cannot go beyond the sphere of mental activities, then he is sure to perform only material activities and thus remain impure. There are so many persons in the modern world who have been highly educated in the materialistic universities, but it is seen that they can take up the movement of Krishna conscious. They cannot take up the movement of Krishna consciousness and develop the high qualities of the demigods. For example, a Krishna conscious boy, even if he is not very well educated by the university standard, can immediately give up all illicit sex life, gambling, meat eating, and intoxication. Whereas those who are not in Krishna consciousness, although very highly educated, are often drunkards, meat eaters, sex mongers, and gamblers. These are practical proofs of how a Krishna conscious person becomes highly developed in good qualities, whereas a person who is not in Krishna consciousness cannot do so. We experience that even a young boy in Krishna consciousness is unattached to cinemas, nightclubs, naked dance shows, restaurants, liquor shops, etc. He becomes completely freed. He saves his valuable time from being extravagantly spent in the ways of smoking, drinking, attending the theater, and dancing. One who is not in Krishna consciousness usually cannot sit silently even for half an hour. The yoga system teaches that if you become silent, you will realize that you are God. This system may be all right for materialistic persons, but how long will they be able to keep themselves silent? Artificially, they may sit down for so called meditation, but immediately after their yogic performance, they will engage themselves again in such activities as illicit sex life, gambling, meat eating, and many other nonsensical things. But a Krishna conscious person gradually elevates himself without endeavoring for this so-called silent meditation. Simply because he is engaged in Krishna consciousness, he automatically gives up all this nonsense and develops a high character. One develops the highest character by becoming a pure devotee of Krishna. The conclusion is that no one can truly have any good qualities if he is lacking Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Now, moksha lagata krita, happiness in Krishna consciousness. Because of that, even the so-called liberation is insignificant. So there is a next one, no? Neshagni Shubhata, Moksha Laguta Krita. That happiness is so much in Krishna consciousness. Even taking efforts, working hard. So the devotees also have tiredness. But the thing is that still they are very happy. They don't want that so-called moksha. There is no seva involved. So 30th verse, 31st verse. 31st verse has 10 paragraphs in Prabhupada books. 10 paragraphs has been described. 31st verse. And let us read the 30th verse. Sugha pradatvam sukham vaishaikum brahmam aishvaram cheti tatritham. Bhakti bestows happiness. So what are that happiness? Happiness from material things, happiness from Brahman realization, happiness from Lord. So three types of happiness are there. So happiness from material things, happiness from Brahman realization, happiness from Lord. So that small one you can read and then 31st will take.
Sukha pradatvam vaishayikam brahmam aishwaram cheti tattridha. Translation: Bhakti bestows happiness. There are three types of happiness: from material things, from Brahman realization, and from the Lord. Srila Rupa Goswami has analyzed the different sources of happiness.
Where is read.
Srila Rupa Goswami has analyzed the different sources of happiness. He has divided happiness into three categories, which are number one, happiness derived from material enjoyment, number two, happiness derived by identifying oneself with the Supreme Brahman, and number three, happiness derived from Krishna consciousness.
Okay. यथा तन्त्रे सिद्धयः परमाश्चर्य मुक्तिर्मुक्तिश्च शाश्वती नित्यं च परमानन्दो भवेत् गोविन्दभक्तितः. So mystic powers, material enjoyment, eternal happiness and the realization of Brahman, external bliss from the service of Lord, all appear from Bhakti to Govinda. So a person is having Bhakti to Govinda, what all happiness will get? You will get material enjoyment also. You will get the realization of Brahman also. Also, he has the eternal bliss from service also. He gets Siddhi. Somebody asked you, Prabhupada, you all don't display Siddhi. Prabhupada said, you fools will start calling me God. That is why I'm not displaying any Siddhi. But if you want to show, if you want to see, he just places his stick on the snow and the water oozed out. He said, if I show all these chamatkars, you fool will call me God. Like these chamatkari babas, I'm just smashing them. It should not happen that I only take that position. So Prabhupada said, pure devotees, they don't show any siddhis. But this is there. But still, that siddhi also becomes very insignificant. Bhukti, material happiness is there. Again, for devotees, it is also insignificant. Mukti is also there. Realizing impersonal Brahman is there. This mukti, all are like pishachis. Paramananda, because he's experiencing the bliss from Lord. Mukti becomes what? Pishachis. Okay. So now you read that just, and then Aruna, you read the paragraph. 10 paragraph count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
10
6,
paragraphs.
6, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. Exactly 10 it should stop. Then Hari Bhakti Sugodaya is 30 seconds. Okay? Do it.
यथा तत्रे सिद्धयः परमाश्चर्या भुक्तिर्मुक्तिश्च शाश्वती नित्यं स परमानन्दो भवेत् गोविन्दभक्तितः. Thus it is said in a tantra, astounding mystic powers, material enjoyment, eternal happiness in the realization of Brahman, and eternal bliss from the service to the Lord all appear from the bhakti to Govinda.
Hare Krishna. In the Tatra Shastra, Lord Shiva speaks to his wife Sati in this way: my dear wife, a person who has surrendered himself at the lotus feet of Govinda and who has thus developed pure Krishna consciousness can be very easily awarded all the perfections desired by the impersonalist, and beyond this, he can enjoy the happiness achieved by the pure devotees. Happiness derived from pure devotional service is the highest because it is eternal. The happiness derived from material perfection or understanding oneself to be Brahman is inferior because it is temporary. There is no preventing one's falling down from material happiness. And there is even every chance of falling down from the spiritual happiness derived by identifying oneself with the impersonal Brahman. It has been seen that great Mayavadi impersonalist sannyasis, very highly educated and almost realized souls, may sometimes take to political activities or to social welfare activities. The reason is that they actually do not derive any ultimate transcendental happiness in the impersonal understanding, and before and therefore must come down to the material platform and take to such mundane affairs. There are many instances, especially in India, where this Mayavadi sannyasis descend to the material platform again. But a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness will never return to any sort of material platform. However alluring and attracting they may be, he always knows that no material welfare activities can compare to the spiritual activity of Krishna consciousness. The mystic perfections achieved by actually successful yogis are eight in number. Anima Siddhi refers to the power by which one can become so small that he can enter into a stone. Modern scientific improvements also enable us to enter into stone because they provide for excavating so many subways, penetrating the hills, etc. So, Anima Siddhi, the mystic perfection of trying to enter into stone, has also been achieved by material science. Similarly, all of the yoga siddhis, all perfections are material arts. For example, in one yoga siddhi, there is development of power to become so light that one can float in the air or on water. That is also being performed by modern scientists. They are flying in the air, they are floating on the surface of the water, and they are traveling under the water. After comparing all these mystic yoga siddhis to materialistic perfection, we find that the materialistic scientists try to try for the same perfections. So actually, there is no difference between the mystic perfection and materialistic perfection. A German scholar once said that the so-called yoga perfection had already been achieved by the modern scientist, and so he was not concerned with them. He intelligently went to India to learn how he could understand his eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord by means of Bhakti Yoga, devotional service. Of course, the categories of mystic perfection, there are certain processes that the material scientists have not yet been able to develop. For instance, a mystic yogi can enter into the planet simply by using the rays of the sunshine. This perfection is called lagima. Similarly, a yogi can touch the moon with his finger, though the modern astronauts go to the moon with the help of the spaceships. They undergo many difficulties, whereas a person with mystic perfection can extend his hand and touch the moon with his finger. The siddhi is called prapti or acquisition. With this prapti siddhi, not only one can perfect not only one, not only can the perfect mystic yogi touch the moon planet, but he can extend his hand anywhere and take whatever he likes. He may be sitting thousands of miles away from a certain place, and if he likes, he can take a fruit from a garden garden there. This is Prapti Siddhi. The modern scientists have manufactured nuclear weapons with which they can destroy an insignificant part of this planet. But by the yoga siddhi known as Ishita. One can create and destroy an entire planet simply at will. Another perfection is called Vashita. And by this perfection, one can bring anyone under his control. This is a kind of hypno hypnotism that is almost irresistible.
Hypnotism.
No, ir, irresistible. Sometimes
Hypnotism. Hypnotism.
Sometimes it is found that a yogi who may have attained a little perfection in this Vashita mystic power comes out among the people and speaks all sorts of nonsense, control their minds, exploits them, take their money, and then goes away. There is another mystic perfection which is known as prakyama magic, prakamya. Magic. By this Prakamya power, one can achieve anything he likes. For example, one can make water enter into his eye and then again come out from within the eye. Simply by his will, he can perform such wonderful activities. The highest perfection of mystic power is called Kama Vyashita. Kama was Kama Vasya Kama
Kama
was
Vasayita. Kama
Kama
Vasayita.
Vasayita. This is also magic, but whereas the Prakamya powers acts to create wonderful effects within the scope of nature. Kama Vasayita permits one to contradict nature, in other words, to do the impossible. Of course, one can derive great amounts of temporary happiness by achieving such yogic materialistic perfection. Foolishly, people who are enamored of the glimmer of modern materialistic advancement are thinking that the Krishna consciousness movement is for less intelligent men. I am better off being busy with my material comforts, maintaining a nice apartment, family, and sex life. These people do not know that any moment, they can be kicked out of their material situation. Due to ignorance, they do not know that real life is eternal. The temporary comforts of the body are not the goal of life, and it is due only to darkness, ignorance that people become ena- enamored of the glimmering advancement of material comforts. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur has therefore said that the advancement of material knowledge renders a person more foolish because it causes one to forget his real identity by its glimmer. This is doom for him because this form of life is meant for getting out of material contamination. By the advancement of material knowledge, people are becoming more and more entangled in material existence. They have no hope of being liberated from this kata. Mataji, what is this?
Catastrophic. This type of
Kata.
trouble. Catastrophe means like you have a sudden tsunami, a
Okay,
sudden misery,
unsuccessful end of something. Okay.
a miserable thing, miserable situation. So they have no hope of being liberated from this catastrophe because they are entangled. So where is the question of getting liberated? Danger. So this type of danger. Now Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, what it speaks. Yata Hari Bhakti Sudodaya cha bhuyopi yache devesha त्वयि दधास्तु मे या मोक्षान्त चतुर्वर्गः फलादा फलदा सुखदा लता. So this is the sentence that has been given Sukha Pradatvam about the Siddhis and about they all appear from Bhakti to Govinda. Then now what is given here? Sudhodate. That means, O Lord of the Devas, I again pray to you that I may be firm to my devotion. That Bhakti is a creeper which bestows artha, dharma, kama, moksha. and also the happiness of realization of the Lord. So again, Sri Vishwanath Thakur's commentary is given. I pray that I may have bhakti, the creeper which gives for Purushartha, which also gives the bliss to the realization of Lord Sukhada, which consequently makes liberation insignificant. So he experiences happiness. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told. Sukham Vaishayikam Brahmam Aishwaryam Cheti Tattvadah. That for that it has been given. So what is it Sukham? He experiences all. Material spa, Brahman realization, everything is included in this. When he is getting love from Krishna, he is experiencing that bliss. Other things are actually insignificant. That is what is said. His happiness from material gains, or becoming one with having Brahman realization, everything becomes insignificant. So you read the verse and Palash, you read the paragraph, 32 paragraph. Read the verse, Aditya.
यथा हरिभक्ति सुधोदये च भूयोऽपि याति देवेश वै भक्तिर्दिधास्तु मे या मोक्षान्त चतुर्वर्ग फलदा सुखदा लता. Translation. Thus it also says in Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya, O Lord of the Devas, I again pray to you that I may have firm devotion to you. That bhakti is a creeper which bestows artha, dharma, kam, moksha, and also the happiness of realization of the Lord.
So read Palash.
Hare Krishna. In the Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya, it is stated that Prahlad Maharaj, a great devotee of the Lord, prayed to Narsimha Dev, the half lion, half man incarnation, as follows. My dear Lord, I repeatedly pray to you unto your lotus feet that I may simply be stronger in devotional service. I simply pray that my Krishna consciousness may be more strong and steady, because happiness derived out of Krishna consciousness and devotional service is so powerful that with it one can have all the other perfections of religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and even the attainment of liberation from the material existence.
Next, 33rd verse, which goes for 2 paragraphs. Okay, 33rd. So, moksha lagutapata managayeva praruddhaya hridaye bhagavadratau purusharthastu chatvaras prayante samantatah. Bhakti gives total disregard to liberation. When even as little attraction for the Lord grows the heart, the 4 objects of human, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, becomes like grass, shameful to appear before bhakti. So even if a small devotion is there in the heart, this bhakti lata bija grows, one becomes really shameful to have material sukha. Dharma, artha. Artha means to have material money, material the artha for material use, and kama, material desires, moksha. Okay, you read the verse and the paragraph again. Palash, you continue. 1 and 2 are there.
मोक्ष लघुता कृता मनाग एव परुद्धायां हृदये भगवाद्रतौ पुरुषार्थास्तु चत्वारा तृणायन्ते मन्ततः. Translation. Bhakti causes total disregard for liberation. When even a little attraction for the Lord grows in the heart, the 4 objects of human attainment, artha, dharma, kam, and moksha, become like grass, shameful to appear before bhakti.
Okay, read.
Actually, a pure devotee does not aspire after any of these perfections, because the happiness derived from devotional service in Krishna consciousness is so transcendental and so unlimited that no other happiness can compare to it. It is said that even one drop of happiness in Krishna consciousness stands beyond comparison with a ocean of happiness derived from any other activity. Thus, any person who has developed even a little quantity of pure devotional service can very easily kick out all the other kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. There was a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya known as Kolavika Sridhar, who was a
Kola Becha Sridhar. Kola means Kela. Kela Becha Sridhar. Kola Becha Sridhar.
Kolavika Sridhar, who was a
Becha,
very poor
Becha, 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 Becha.
Becha,
Be-
Kolavecha Sridhar, who was a very poor man. He was doing a small business selling cups made from the leaves of plantain trees, and his income was almost nothing. Still, he was spending 50% of his small income on the worship of Ganga, and with the other 50%, he was somehow living. Lord Chaitanya once revealed himself to his confidential devotee, Kolavecha Sridhar, and offered him an opulence he liked. But Sridhar informed the Lord that he did not want any materialistic opulence. He was quite happy in his present position and wanted only to gain unflinchingness, faith, and devotion unto the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. This is the position of pure devotees. If they can engage, if they can be engaged 24 hours each day in devotional service, they do not want anything else, not even the happiness of liberation or of becoming one with the Supreme. Hare Krishna.
He doesn't have any desire, doesn't have any desire for moksha, not even having the desire for so now 34th verse. यथा श्रीनारद पंचरात्रे हरिभक्ति महादेव्या सर्वामुक्त्यादि सिद्धयः मुक्तयश्चाद्भुतास्तस्य चेतिकावात् अनुवृतः. So Narad Pancharatra says all the siddhis settled by preparation, all astonishing material treasures follow after the great goddess called Hari Bhakti, like fearful maidservants. So Bhukti and Mukti, they stand folded hands. They stand folded hands. He said they are so fearful to Bhakti. Bhakti is there, naturally Bhukti Mukti will be afraid. Okay? They stand like maids. So read the verse and Aruna read the paragraph.
यथा श्रीनारदपञ्चरात्रे हरिभक्तिमहादेव्या सर्वमुक्त्यादिसिद्धयः भुक्त्यभूतास्तस्या चेतिकावद् अनुव्रताः. Thus, Narad Pancharatra says, all the siddhis headed by liberation and all astonishing material pleasures follow after the great goddess called Hari Bhakti, like fearful maidservants. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. In the Narad Panchatattva, it is also said that any person who has developed even a small amount of devotional service doesn't care or seek for any kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, or five kinds of liberation. Any kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, liberation, or sense gratification cannot even dare to enter into the heart of pure devotee. Heart of a pure devotee. It is stated that it is stated that as the personal attendants and maid servants of a queen follow the queen with all respect and obeisances. Similarly, the joy of religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation follow the devotional service of the Lord. In other words, a pure devotee does not lack any kind of happiness derived from any source. He does not want anything but service to Krishna. But even if he should have another desire, the Lord fulfills this without the devotees asking.
Even if any other desire is there, Krishna fulfills. His main desire is what? His only desire is to serve Krishna. Okay? So today we have done Shubhada, Shubhada, Moksha Lagata, two aspects. Rail Shavani we did last time, Shubhada, Moksha Lagata, and Sudurlabha, that we'll do now or Wednesday. Now also we can finish it up. 35, 36, 37. Okay, we'll do it. 35. Sudurlabha साधनोपायैर् अनासङ्गैर् अलभ्या सुशिरादपि हरिणा चाश्वदेयति द्विधा सा स्यात् सुदुर्लभा. So how bhakti is very rare. So bhakti is difficult to attain in two ways, if undertaken in great quantity but without attachment. Bhakti cannot be attained even after a long time. If practiced with attachment, Krishna does not give bhakti to the practitioner immediately. It said, if it is taken in great quantity but without attachment, doing lot of seva, but there is no attachment actually. And then, even after a long time, even if a long time a person does, but there is no attachment, not necessary that he will get it. And if he is doing with attachment, again, it's not necessary Krishna should do it immediately. So without attachment, with attachment. Without attachment, the person is doing, long time is doing, no guarantee. With attachment is doing, again, it's up to Krishna. So bhakti is the most rarest thing. Most rarest thing to be attained. Love for Krishna. Seva everybody will be doing. But that attachment to Krishna, so not necessary even if it is doing with attachment. It's not necessary for Lord to give bhakti immediately. So what it is meant? Love for Krishna. This attachment is there. Attachment to the service is there. But still, the deep attachment of bhakti. Bhakti. Anyablash shunyam jnana karma dinavtam. Anukulyena Krishnanushīlam uttama. Sarvopadi Rishikesha Sevanam Uchate. This bhakti is Krishna's property. Whoever he feels, we just have to try out. Without attachment or with attachment, whatever it is. Okay, read the paragraph also, Aditya.
Sudurlabha आधम साधा नौघैर अनासंगैर अलभ्या सुचिरात् अपि हरिणा चास्वदेयेति द्विधा सा स्यात् सुदुर्लभा. Bhakti is rarely attained. Bhakti is difficult to attain in two ways. If undertaken in great quantity but without attachment, bhakti cannot be attained even after a long time. And even if practiced with attachment, Krishna does not give bhakti to the practitioner immediately. In the preliminary phase of spiritual life, there are different kinds of austerities, penances, and similar processes for attaining self-realization. However, even if an executor of these processes is without any material desire, he still cannot achieve devotional service. And aspiring by oneself alone to achieve devotional service is also not very hopeful, because Krishna does not agree to award devotional service to merely anyone. Krishna can easily offer a person material happiness or even liberation, but he does not agree very easily to award a person engagement in his devotional service. Devotional service can in fact be attained only through the mercy of a pure devotee. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 19.151, it is said, by the mercy of the spiritual master, who is a pure devotee, and by the mercy of Krishna, one can achieve the platform of devotional service. There is no other way.
Okay. Now, Tatra Adyaha Tantre Jnanatah Sulabha Muktirvaktir Yajnadi Seyam Sadhana Sasrair Hari Bhakti Sudurlabha. The first type of rarity by practice without attachment is illustrated in one of the tantras. Liberation is easily attained by jnana and material enjoyment is easily attained by punyas, such as sacrifice. After training dedication to those goals with thousands of attempts, our bhava to the Lord cannot be attained if one practices thousands of different sadhanas, because asakti will not appear. The bhava in which asakti, ruchi, asakti, bhava, this asakti is not so easy. You're completely focused. It's not so easy. Okay, continue, Aditya.
तत्र आद्या यथा तान्त्रे ज्ञानतः सुलभा मुक्तिर्भुक्तिर्यज्ञादिपुण्यतः सेयं साधना सहस्रैर हरिभक्तिषु दुर्लभा. The first type of rarity, by practice without attachment, is illustrated in one of the tantras. Liberation is easily attained by gnana, and material enjoyment is easily attained by punyas, the sacrifice, after attaining dedication to those goals by thousands of attempts. However, Bhava Bhakti to the Lord cannot be attained if one practices thousands of different sadhanas, because asakti will not appear. The rarity of devotional service is also confirmed in the Tantra Shastra, where Lord Shiva says to Sati, "My dear Sati, if one is a very fine philosopher, analyzing the different processes of knowledge, he can achieve liberation from the material entanglement. By performance of the ritualistic sacrifices recommended in the Vedas, one can be elevated to the platform of pious activities and thereby enjoy the material comforts of life to the fullest extent. But all such endeavors can hardly offer anyone devotional service to the Lord, not even if one tries for it by such processes for many, many thousands of years."
Okay. One minute, 1 minute. Okay, last one in this. 37th one. If you see here, so many quotations have been given. You read the whole commentary, a nice commentary. Now, 37. Ditya Yatha Panchame Skande, 5th canto, 6th verse, 18th chapter. Next. 6th chapter, 18th verse. Rajan Patir Guru Alam Bhavatam Yadunam Daivam Kriha Kulapati Vacha Kinkaro Va Astvevam Anga Bhajatam Bhagavan Mukundo Muktin Dadati Tadhichit Smana Bhakti Yogam. So how bhakti is very rare. That has been proved in Bhagavatam also. My dear king, the supreme person Mukunda is actually the maintainer of all the members of the Pandavas, the dynasties, his special master, worshipable deity, friend, and director of your activities. To say nothing of this, he sometimes serves your family as a messenger or servant. This means that he works just as ordinary servants do. Those engaged in getting the Lord's favor attain liberation from the Lord very easily, but he does not give bhava bhakti at all times. So not necessarily Lord has to give bhava bhakti to everyone. Directly read the paragraph because anyhow, right? Read the paragraph.
In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj that merely by personal efforts or by the instruction of higher authorities, one cannot attain to the stage of devotional service. One must become blessed by the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee who is completely freed from the contamination of material desires. In the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th chapter, verse 18, Narad also says to Yudhishthir, My dear king, it is Lord Krishna, known as Mukunda, who is the eternal protector of the Pandavas and the Yadus. He is also your spiritual master and instructor in every respect. He is the only worshipable God for you. He is very dear and affectionate, and he is the director of all your activities, both individual and familial. And what's more, he sometimes carries out your orders as if he were your messenger. My dear king, how very fortunate you are, because for others, all these favors given to you by the Supreme Lord would not even be dreamt of. The purport of this verse is that the Lord easily offers liberation, but he rarely agrees to offer a soul devotional service, because by devotional service, the Lord himself becomes purchased by the devotee. Hare Krishna.
So getting devotional service is also the rarest thing. The Lord is afraid. Devotee should not purchase it. Okay. Next is what? So Durlabha over. No, Sangrana. That we'll do on Wednesday. Sangrananda Shri Krishna Appaji Chasa. This will complete. Monday you will not have class because Monday I am traveling. So Wednesday we'll have class where we'll try to do the second chapter. How big is the second chapter? So 2 classes. Okay then. Any questions you have? No questions? Okay. Vanchakल्पतरुभ्यश्च पासुन्दुभ्यश्च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वैष्णवी की जय।